According to Robert Kiyosaki, it says it is not enough to make money, but it's enough when you keep the money and make it work for you. Hello and welcome to Book Club on Vanguard Live. I'm Agnes Joy Uloko. How's your weekend? I hope all of us had a great weekend. I'll be going on a short break, and when I come back, we'll be moving to the summary of the book club. Welcome back. If you are just joining us, this is Book Club on Vanguard Live, and I'm Agnes Joy Uloko. Our question for today is, what is the difference between money and wealth? Please, I want us to keep our comments coming in the comment section. You know, a lot of us misunderstand money for wealth, and we misunderstand wealth for money. So I want to see your own understanding concerning money and wealth. Please keep your answers coming in the comment section. Today we'll be summarizing a very important and interesting book, and I don't want any of us to miss it, because at the end of this program we would have achieved a lot and would have learned a lot of things. The book that we'll be summarizing today is titled Formula for Wealth. That's a great one. You know, Formula for Wealth. I know a lot of us might be wondering, Formula for Wealth, Formula for Wealth. Yeah, it's a book written by Femi Pedro in the year 2020, which simply means that the book is a fresh book, like they call it in the university, freshest. So the book is still fresh in town because it was produced and published in this year 2020 by Femi Pedro. The Formula for Wealth. My thoughts on wealth, entrepreneurship, and leadership. The book is about the fundamentals of wealth creation through entrepreneurship, investing, and leadership. It leverages on the author's personal experiences as a guide to help entrepreneurs with a desire to create wealth. Yeah, that's all about the book. You know, the book is a non-fiction because it was written by the author and it's based on his personal experiences. And he also wrote that book to encourage a lot of us out there to build our spirit, to encourage us on how to make wealth. And the book also teaches us not to give up. You know, a lot of us we're already seeing things that are making us lose hope. But after reading this book, it will build up your spirit and it will inspire you on how to make wealth. Femi Pedro is an economist, he's a banker, he's an entrepreneur, he's an investor. He's also a political leader, and he also served as a deputy governor of Lagos State. The man has a lot. Like, you need to read this book because he's a role model. Somebody that is an economist, that is a banker, that is a political leader, and also a deputy governor in this Lagos State. You need to go through that book, because after reading that book, my spirit got inspired. Like, I was like, God, I want to be like this. I want to be more than this man. And I know all of us are hoping to be the same. So I want you to grab a copy of this book, Formula for Wealth. Formula for Wealth. There are a lot of formulas that are involved in making wealth. You know, some people say, money is the root of all evil. No, by the time you read this book, you will see that there are a lot of things that money can do. It doesn't just surround being, it doesn't just involve evil. But money has a lot of role to play in our lives. You know, in the society these days, you need money to achieve a lot of things. And by the time you start getting that money, is the process, is the means through which you use that money, that it will graduate, that it will go into wealth. Wealth is something that doesn't vanishes, it's everlasting. But money can vanish at any time. But once you make use of that your money very well, it will grow into wealth, and it will go into a lot of materials. It will grow into a lot of things. So when you have money, you have to make very good use of it for it to grow into wealth. And I from the book, I grabbed out some points for formula freedom. There are 7 points actually that I'll be talking about for you, those of us that have already given up, that I've had money, let me just stop here. No, beyond that money you can make wealth. Beyond that money you can still get a lot of things. So there are 7 formulas that we'll be looking into today that summarizes the book Formula for Wealth. And the first one is begin to think positively. Yes, to think positively is the first thing that you must do for you to acquire and for you to become a wealthy person. You must eliminate the thought that having more money leads to evil, like I earlier said. You must eliminate that thought. Just remove it from your mind that money is the root of all evil. No, it's not everybody that has money, enough money, that are into mischievous acts, those are the people that are into bad things. No, a lot of people have their money because they invested, they became wealthy because they made use of that money and they invested into it very well. They did good, they invested very well with that money. So to begin to think positively about your money. That's when you say money can't buy happiness. No, there are some times when you have money, you see that happiness will be coming freely. It's when you don't have money that you get angry easily. Sometimes nobody upsets you, but because you are poor, because you don't have food, good food to eat, you see others eating, you get angry. And that's why this book was written by Femi Pedro, to build up your spirit, to make you leave that negative thinking and to be positive. Like I said, begin with a positive mindset. Like you have to start thinking positively. Leave that saying that goes, money is the root of all evil. No, in this case now, money answereth all things, including that happiness that you think you can never have. And the second thing we'll be talking about is rewrite your major goals. Like I said the other time, leaders are readers. If you don't read books, you cannot start bringing out what you want to be. Sometimes when you read, you just say, this person is my role model. This person is my role model. How did this person start? How did this person start? Then you bring out a book. You start mapping out your own goals. This is what I want. This is where I want to be in the next 4 years. This is how I want to be. This is the kind of family I want. When you start writing those things, there is this inspiration that comes to you. This is the money, this is the kind of person, this is the kind of businessman, this is the kind of businesswoman I want to be. Like Femi Pedro, he had challenges while growing up because he said he was raised by his both grandmothers, which means he wasn't raised by any of his parents, but he was raised by his grandmothers, and he had a lot of struggles while growing up. But he built his mindset. He started thinking positively, like the first step. The second one, he rewrites his goals, and that's what made him to become who he is. And the third point we are going to be looking at is plan every day. You must have a plan every day, and you must plan in advance. Don't just allow a day pass. There are 24 hours in a day. In that particular day, there must be something that will stir up your spirit and say, this is what I want to achieve at the end of this year, at the end of this month, at the end of today. This is what I want to achieve. When you start putting those things in your mind, you see yourself growing. You see yourself having those riches. You see yourself from riches, you are growing into a wealthy person. So you have to You have to plan in advance every day. And the act of planning every day, you have to plan every day, like I said, every week, every month in advance, because it will make you think sharp, and it will make you grow far. It will make you go far, and more precisely, at everything you do, you see yourself growing. And when you plan, you will be better and able to control the track of your spending habits. You know, when you have 500 naira and you plan that, okay, today I want to use 100 naira out of my 500 naira, you see yourself working towards that plan. But once you don't plan, okay, you just have 500 naira, and before you know, you want to buy this, before you know, you want to buy this, before you know, you've bought this. When you go back to pick money, you see that you're already empty. Because why? You refuse planning. You don't have any plan. You have finished, you have lavished all the money. And when you don't plan, when you don't keep some money, you cannot become a wealthy person. By the time you end up spending all the money you have every day, how will you save? You cannot save to invest that money into becoming a wealthy person. Now, the fourth point is the principle of concentration. Yes, even as you are thinking positively, even as you are planning, even as you are setting your goals, you have to concentrate. You know, without concentrations, you can't do all those things. You have to concentrate on what you are doing. Not because everybody is doing this thing at this particular time. You too, you want to do. You know where you want to be. You've already set that goal that, yes, in the next so months, in the next so years, these are what I want to achieve. Then because one of your friends just came by and told you, oh, this is the latest thing, this is the latest thing in town, this is the trending bag, maybe the trending shoes, and you just leave your goals or leave your plans. No, you cannot become a wealthy person if you do that, and if you go by that. You have to concentrate on your already made plans, and you have to work towards those plans that you've already set. You don't need to be distracted by anything, because you know that after your achievement, all those things will come, it will follow suit. Then the fifth point is invest in yourself. Yes, you have to invest in yourself. You have to listen to programs that are finances. You have to listen to a lot of things that will build up your wealth. You have to read books like the book I told you, Formula for Wealth, and a lot of books out there that will build up your spirit. You have to read those books and educate yourself, not just concentrating. If you don't read and if you don't invest in yourself, you cannot make wealth. You have to invest in yourself. You have to plan yourself. You have to, it's like a budget. You have to budget yourself that this is what I want to do. So you have to invest. You know, even in your tight schedules, you have to bring out that time and read books. Like I always tell us, leaders are readers. Readers are leaders. So you have to bring out that in your busy schedules. You have to make out that time for you to read, watch programs, educative programs that will build you up financially, materially. If you are doing those things, those are the things that can make you to acquire wealth. Now we move to the sixth point. The sixth point says, ask yourself these magic questions. Yes, there are questions you should ask yourself every day. And the first question is, what did I do right? You know, after thinking positively, after setting your goals, after investing in yourself, preparing your plans every day and preparing them in advance, you have to ask yourself questions. What did I do right? These things I'm doing, like today, okay, this is what I want to achieve today. Did I really achieve this thing? Did I really, in me trying to achieve this thing, did I really set it right? Did I really do it right? You have to ask yourself that question, because sometimes you might be thinking, okay, in quest to make wealth, I want to be a wealthy person. You can still overdo it. You can still go astray. You can still go outside of what you want to do. So in the quest to make wealth, you know, there are a lot of things involved, negative things also. But we are not looking at the negative aspect now. We are looking at the positive part of it. So you have to ask yourself, what I'm doing, am I doing it right? That's the first question. And the second question is, what would I do differently next time? Yes, I've done this thing today. What will I do differently next time? It's like a business. When you start up a business, you won't just sit in that particular place or the particular way you started. You starting up a business, you must always invest in that business. You have to package it. When you notice that the way I'm doing this business, people are not really patronizing me, yes, you have to change your package. You have to change your package, and that's the second question. How will I do? What would I do differently next time? Yes, if you see that what I did before, if I don't do it right, that means what should I do differently next time? That's where you have to think, and that's where your concentration comes in. Yes, for me to do this thing differently, this is what I should do. It's the formula to make wealth. So you have to concentrate very well, and those questions are very important in making for you to make wealth. Now we move to the last but not the least formula, which is be generous to others. When you help others, you don't know people that will help you later. The final point, be generous to others, which is treat everyone you meet treat them like $1 million customer, because you don't know who turns out to help you the next day, in the nearest future. Treat every single person at home and at work as if they were the most important people in the world. Treat them with all kindness, with all sincerity, because you don't know those people. You don't know when they will turn out to be your helper. You don't know when they will help you. You might be needing something later, and those people will turn out to be the people that will help you. It is a proven fact that being a more generous person will help you attract more wealth and make you become a happier person in life. Yes, when you help people, at that particular day, you get fulfilled. There are sometimes you sacrifice what you have for people, and you just find yourself being happy. You are having that joy within yourself. You are just excited that yes, today I've achieved a lot, because you helped somebody that that thing was very important to that person at that particular point in time. Formula to make wealth. Those are the 7 points that I brought out from the book, just to summarize the book. And like I earlier said, there are a lot of things to learn from this book. You cannot get everything here, but I will advise you to grab a copy of the book, because it is very educative and it is very interesting. By the time you read that book, when you finish reading that book, you will see your spirit being lifted. You see your spirit being built. You see that those things that you've already concluded on your own, that this is where I want to stop. You will just see yourself going high, because that is what the book has done to my spirit. And I believe by the time you go through that book, the same thing will happen to your spirit. Like I said, I want to know the difference between money and wealth, and I want to see your comments coming in as we have come to the conclusion of today's program. Don't forget to like and share, as our social media handles are displayed on your screen. You can also follow us on our social media pages. We have come to the end of today's program. I'm Agnes Joy Uloko. See you next time.